Hey, I'm Chris. This is MMA for You. I'm going to be doing my post-fight analysis for the Ultimate Fighter 22 finale. But before I get into that, I'd like to plug my author's website at www.chrismoldon.com. I am an aspiring author, specializing in the fantasy genre, and you can check out blogs, which are updated every week. The Writers Talk web series, which is updated every 2 weeks. Free short stories, which they have like one every month, and stories for sale. As far as stories for sale go, my first novel, The Mustard Prince and the Comet Kingdom, which is a fantasy action adventure, is coming out on January 1st on my website, only on my website, and that will have a price tag of $8.95. So if you'd like to support me or you just like fantasy adventure stories, please buy my book. Okay, on to the card. The main event was really good. Ferguson versus Barboza was really good. The rest was just like grinding to okay at best. My picks weren't too great. I only got 6 out of 10. Still got more than 50%, thankfully. As far as bonuses go, the ones that I missed were I'll say Gene Herrera versus Joby Sanchez, Gabriel Gonzaga versus Constantine Erican. Man, that fight sucked. Julian Arosa versus Marcin Josek. I don't know how to pronounce it. And Tony Ferguson versus Edson Barboza. As far as bonuses go, performance of the night went to Frankie Edgar and Tony Ferguson, while fight of the night went to Tony Ferguson versus Edson Barboza. Let's get started. Frankie Edgar defeated Chad Mendes by knockout, 2 minutes and 28 seconds in the first round. Not much I can say about the fight, really is primarily standing. Mendes, for the most part, got some really strong leg kicks. But, I noticed that he was getting tagged here and there by Edgar. It seems like he does have some openings in his defense. And Edgar got him with a beautiful left hook to the nose. Started with a right hook and then a follow-up left hook combination that really finished Mendes off. It was such a surprise because Frank Edgar's not known to have heavy hands. He's known as something even as a point fighter. It looks like he was sitting on his punches a bit more. He's going to be stronger at featherweight too. So this is an emphatic win for Frankie Edgar, and the way he did it was what he needed to really secure like a title shot, really. Mendes has only lost to Jose Aldo twice. One, he went to a fight of the year decision, 5 rounds. And then the first time he fought, he lost in the first round. And then Mendes took a fight against Conor McGregor in 2 weeks and got knocked out in the second round. So for Frankie Edgar, full camps for both these guys. Frankie Edgar to get the first round knockout the way he did, that's a statement win. If Edgar doesn't get the title shot versus the winner of McGregor versus Aldo, I guess the only other fighters that make sense would be he gets a winner of Stevens versus Holloway, or maybe like Ricardo Lamas next. With Mendes, he can get the loser Stevens versus Holloway, Charles Oliveira, or maybe like Dennis Bermudez next. Next fight after that, Ryan Hall defeated Artem Lobov by unanimous decision, 230-26s and 130-27. Lobov landed 2 significant strikes in the whole fight. This was a case of Martin Held doing his best, or Ryan Hall doing his best Martin Held impression, more or less. Going for some flying leg locks, pulling guard, taking the back in creative ways, and really just showing off his jiu-jitsu game and overall grappling game, taking some risk as far as getting the fight to the ground. And, Ryan Hall's not the best athlete or anything like that. He's not the best striker. He's one of the best on the ground, though. He's very creative. It was, if Saul Rogers wasn't going to win it, I would have, it's good that like Ryan Hall won it. So I think those two are the two best guys on the show. As far as what's next for Ryan Hall, it's he's still a prospect and that he's young in MMA, and he's not necessarily young in years for MMA. He's like, I forgot like his exact age, but it's not like early 20s. Um, but he is training with the right guys. He trains out of TriStar. He's a smart guy. I can see him get wins in the UFC, but maybe go under, get some sort of win streak here and there. But I think there's something of a clear ceiling with him too. Like maybe he cracks the top 15, maybe he doesn't. I mean, really, that's as far as I can see him go. It just I don't know if the striking's ever going to really catch up enough. And like I said, he's just not a natural athlete per se. Um, he's not like shooting these crazy shots or anything like that, or getting like. But he is very creative, so he should be able to get definitely get staying power for sure. But yeah, I don't really know as far as his upward prospects go. Dr. Lobov, man, honestly, I'm not high on the guy. And when you land two significant strikes in the fight, you get on top control and do like almost like nothing. There's not much unless Lobo becomes like a fun action fighter or something like that. Even on a technical level, he's not that great. Um, he's a guy that I can actually just see kind of get bounced from the UFC. Not after this fight, but one more fight in the UFC and gets back. And if he loses, he gets bounced from the promotion. This is not really not much to say I can say about the guy. Next fight after that, Tony Ferguson defeated Edson Barboza by Darce choke in the second round. So this is where I got kind of stupid because if you saw the predictions, I said, hey, I initially picked Tony Ferguson to win this fight. I changed it to Edson Barboza. And now I am kicking myself and eating crow for that really smart decision. What can I say? Tony Ferguson did kind of what I thought he would to get the win. That's the stupid thing. It's like, oh yeah, I can't really see Ferguson for whatever reason. I didn't see Ferguson pressuring Edson Barboza for no reason. Oh god, this is so stupid of me. Yeah, because geez, he's pressured opponents before. Like, oh god, this is the dumbest prediction of mine. His chin is something else. So man, his creativity is pretty nuts, and his variety, his Ferguson I'm talking about, is pretty nuts. Barboza lost, but man, this was a cool fight. He didn't lose much. And I think he took the fight on short notice too. It's supposed to be Khabib Nurmagomedov. Edson Barboza, I don't think lost much. He probably lost his ranking, but as far as being a fan favorite and whatnot, and still getting big fights, not gonna change. Ferguson though, onward and upwards, man. Like I said, great chin. He's moving forward. Very varied striking offense. And just a bit crazy in the cage, and just that right amount of crazy. He'll go for the he'll dive for those leg locks. He'll do some really step in upward elbow, whatever. And it works, really well for him. I guess he should be getting top 5 guys now. I'm thinking he gets a rematch against Michael Johnson, maybe Eddie Alvarez, Or I don't know when he's coming back, but I would like to see Ferguson versus Habib Nurmagomedov. I think that'd be pretty cool. Um, excuse me, I know Johnson fights Nate Diaz, right? So like Ferguson versus the winner of Johnson versus Diaz, or Eddie Alvarez fights Anthony Pettis. So it's Ferguson versus the winner of Pettis versus Alvarez. Edson Barboza can get the loser of those fights. That would work. Or can get like Dariush or Ally Quinta next. Like I said, Barboza showed himself pretty good. Like yeah, I think he got rocked here and there, but it looks like he is finding an answer to getting pressured. Um, whatever chin issues he had, I mean, they're not as pronounced as they used to be. For whatever, like maybe his defense is just getting better. I think he has his feet plant. He has his feet underneath him a lot more. Maybe that's it. You're not seeing him get dropped by like a jab, like like when he fought Donald Cerrone, for example. Um, but yeah, next fight after that, Evan Dunham defeated Joe Lozon by unanimous decision. Um, I'm liking what I see out of Evan Dunham. This is a tale of two veterans. And it's really how are these veterans adjusting to getting older? Well, Evan Dunham used to fight really recklessly. He used to fight like Joe Lozon does now. The problem with Joe Lozon is he fought so recklessly in the past, and he just can't keep that up anymore. Doesn't take hits well. He's not very. He looks like he's just getting slower. Whereas Evan Dunham improved his boxing, wrestles a little more. He doesn't get into crazy brawls. Like if you watch his fight against like T.J. Grant or like even Nick Lentz, I mean the guy just gets in like Evan Dunham used to get into crazy brawls. Now he's fighting like Ross Pearson. He's got a game plan going on. He fights Joe Lozon, striking combination, clinch if he's getting too close, and do elbows and knees if he's into clinch. I mean, it's just he when Evan Dunham got older, he got smarter. He's a guy that knows how to win rounds now, and win rounds consistently. He can also stifle offense really well now. You can see that, like I said, in the Ross Pearson fight, and now in this fight, he knows how to stifle his opponent's offense. He's gaining veteran savvy these days. So I like what I see from Evan Dunham. He is on a 3-fight win streak. I think he can get like the winner of like Kevin Lee versus like Leonardo Santos or something like that. He still needs to step off in competition because he is on a win streak. But yeah, I'd like to see Evan Dunham kind of just fight prospects at this point. He'd be a good gatekeeper type at this point. I can't really call him an up and comer. He is improving, but at this point, I think what you're seeing is what you get. And you know what? It's pretty good. Joe Lozon, I mean, just put him in some more fun fights, whatever fight you can. Against like veterans or whatnot. Hey, you know what? Give him Ross Pearson. like just they both lost to Evan Dunham. That makes sense. Or something like that. Next fight after that, Tetsuya Kawajiri defeated Jason Knight by unanimous decision. There was one standout from Big John McCarthy that I hated. Kawajiri was in the top and half guard, and he actually separated legs so that Kawajiri can pass. So in mid transition of passing, because you can't just like pass right away sometimes, he's working the pass to like side mount, or it looks like the side mount, and he's clearly working it to like the untrained eye. It's probably not so clear. And then like Big John stands him up because they're on the ground too long. It's like, ugh. This was just Kawajiri playing this game. Takes you down. He stays on top. Has crazy pressure. He'll pass guard and throw down elbows. That's what he does, and against a guy like Jason Knight who likes to play guard, works perfect for Cavaliers' game. With that said, I think Cavaliers on a win streak. I think getting Mersad Bektik next would be good. Maybe Darren Elkins, who's coming off a win, or even Thiago Tavares, who's coming off to win over Clay Guida. Jason Knight, just more lower to mid-tier guys of the division for him. It's impossible to really get, not impossible, it's really hard to get a good idea of what type of fighter Jason Knight is and if he can get wins in the UFC at this point. So I thought Julian Erosa defeated Marcin Josak by split decision. This wasn't too bad. There's some good clinch exchanges. Erosa just his stand up, the way the fight played out was kind of like there's certain things I expected. I expected Erosa to get hit clean because he leaves his chin really high, and I expected long clinch exchanges because like Martin looks a heavy clinch game to nullify offense. Erosa was just a little too long for Martin, for one thing. I think that Martin chose to go into clinch a little too much, and Erosa at times was even better. There. So both these guys still, something of works in progress. I forgot how old Julian Erosa is, but Marcin, I think there's some potential in these guys, but it's more lower to mid-tier guys at the division. On to the prelims. Gabriel Gonzaga defeated Constantine Arokin by unanimous decision. This fight was terrible. It's a big staring contest. I was pretty high on Constantine Arokin coming into the UFC, and after this, he needs to get out of it, man. Not out of fighting, but just out of the UFC. He's not ready for this level of competition. He doesn't know how to produce offense. His takedown, his ability off his back's not good. His conditioning's not that good. And even at heavyweight, it's not going to work out. Gabriel Gonzaga needed to do what he needed to do. He's on, a 2-3 fight losing streak or something like that. He needed to win. This fight was terrible. But Gonzaga kept his job in the UFC. And that's really all he can ask at this point. With him, just more lower to mid-tier guys in the division. Next fight, I thought Ryan LaFlare defeated Mike Pierce by unanimous decision. I like this fight. I thought it was pretty fun. I like LaFlare. His body kicks were really effective on Mike Pierce. I like that LaFlare was sitting down on his punches more. Besides a couple scares here and there, he did really well. He kind of did what I expected him to. Mike Pierce, he likes to grind up against the cage and dirty box. I didn't think that would work against Ryan LaFlare, who has a really strong clinch game himself and is just a much taller fighter, LaFlare did really well in defeat. He's a real technically sound guy. He's just, he's just not like a specialist anywhere per se. He's a good wrestler, not the greatest, not like one of the top wrestlers. Striking's good, but it's not great, but he's super solid, With that said, I think LaFlare, this was a good win. This is actually this is a pretty underrated win. Beating Mike Pierce in the UFC is very hard to do. And I think LaFleur should get like a Rick Story or Tarek Safety next. With Mike Pierce, he's probably got some lower to mid-tier guys in the division. Next one, I thought Gene Herrera defeated Joby Sanchez by KO TKO in the second round. I thought Joby Sanchez was doing pretty well, but Joby Sanchez, much better athlete and way stronger puncher, was finding those counters really well. This is a pretty fun fight, actually. Gene Herrera just I know it's not Gene, it's like Jayon or something like that. Just put him away though, Took the fight on short notice and he got the knockout win. So what can you say? He's actually Herrera's one of the better prospects of the division. He lost to Ray Borg on short notice. But Herrera's a really good athlete. He's strong. Uh, could probably work a little on his takedown defense, but otherwise, definitely a prospect to look out for. Even Joey Sanchez, despite the loss, I mean, he's not a bad prospect by any means. Trains out of Jackson Winkle John, solid standing. I thought he could probably wrestle just a little more, just to give Herrera more looks, but that didn't happen. Both guys just more lower to mid guys at the division. And finally, Chris Grutzmacher defeated Abner Yveres by unanimous decision. Good win by the Grits. No, not much to say. He's a guy that likes to go inside, make fights ugly. Especially get the clinch. He's got a really good chin. He just keeps pushing forward a lot of times. Not the most technical sound guy, but I think it's enough to get wins over the lower tier of the division. With Abner, he's not actually that bad. He's solid enough. He'll probably get like just one more fight in the UFC. I don't know if he has staying power in the UFC though. So that's it for my post-fight analysis for the Ultimate Fighter 22 finale. If you have any comments, just leave them below. That's it for MMA for you. Thank you guys very much.